The alien ship moved silently through deep space. Inside the main hall, soft blue lights floated above the floor. Everything was calm. Too calm. Crew members spoke in low voices, sharing reports and routine updates. This mission was supposed to be easy. No danger. No surprises. The alien girl stood near the center console. She was young, trained, and respected. Her job was simple: translate, observe, and report. She had done this many times before. Nothing ever went wrong. She opened her mouth to speak. Then the ship changed. A sharp sound cut through the air. Sensors flashed red. The lights dimmed for half a second. Every screen showed the same warning. Unknown life form detected. The alien girl froze. Her sentence never finished. Her lips stayed open. Her breath stopped. Her eyes locked onto one single point near the entrance door. The door slowly opened. One figure stepped inside. Not large. Not armored. Just one human. The room fell into complete silence. The alien girl's hands began to shake. Her heart raced. She had studied many species. She had seen war records, destroyed planets, and dying stars. But nothing prepared her for this moment. Because humans were not just another species. Humans were legends. Humans were survivors. Humans were the reason the ship even existed. And now, one stood right in front of her. Calm. Silent. Watching. The ship systems reacted before anyone else could. Lights followed the human. Doors unlocked. The ship recognized him. The alien girl felt one clear thought burn into her mind. Everything was about to change. The alien girl's name was Sarai. She had trained for 12 cycles to control fear. Her species believed emotions were weaknesses. Calm minds survived longer. Calm minds ruled the stars. But in this moment, Sarai felt her training break apart. The human stood still, just a few steps inside the hall. He wore simple dark clothing. No visible weapons. No armor. His face showed no anger, no fear. Just quiet focus. Sarai tried to speak again. Nothing came out. Around her, other crew members shifted uneasily. Some stepped back. Others reached for control panels. No one attacked. No one moved too fast. Every instinct told them this was not a normal threat. Captain Reth stood from his command seat. "Identify yourself," the captain said firmly. The human slowly looked at him. "I will," the human replied, his voice calm and steady. "But first, tell your crew to stand down." Sarai's chest tightened. Humans were not supposed to speak like that. Records showed humans as aggressive, loud, unpredictable. This one was different. This one spoke like he already understood the ship. The captain hesitated. Then the ship made the choice for him. A soft tone echoed through the hall. Defensive systems powered down. Weapon ports sealed. The main screen changed symbols. Old symbols, ancient symbols. Sarai recognized them. They were human codes. Her eyes widened. "That's not possible," she whispered. The ship was responding to the human without commands, as if it had been waiting. The captain turned to Sarai. "Translator, explain." Sarai swallowed hard. "Sir, these systems are older than our civilization. They were designed with human input. That knowledge was lost." The human took one slow step forward. The floor lights adjusted under his feet. Every alien in the room noticed. "You shouldn't be here," the captain said. "This ship is under council control." The human nodded slightly. It was never meant to be controlled. It was meant to protect. Sarai's fear shifted into confusion. Protect whom? The human's eyes moved to her. For a moment, their gazes met. She felt exposed, like he could see every thought inside her mind. "You're afraid," the human said gently. Sarai forced herself to speak. "You are human. Our history says your kind vanished." The human gave a small, tired smile. "We didn't vanish. We stepped away." "Why?" she asked before she could stop herself. "Because the galaxy wasn't ready," he replied. A sudden alarm blared. Multiple signals appeared on the screen. Unknown ships approaching fast. The captain cursed under his breath. Enemy fleet. They tracked us. Fear spread through the hall. Sarai looked back at the human. He didn't turn around. He didn't rush. He didn't react like someone about to die. Instead, he spoke one simple sentence. Permission to take control of the ship. The captain stared at him. You're asking me to give you command? The human finally turned. His eyes were steady. No, he said. I'm asking you to survive. The ship's core hummed louder, as if listening. Sarai felt it then, a deep truth she could not explain. This ship was not afraid. It was ready, and the human had always been its master. The alien command hall stayed silent. Enemy ships were getting closer. Red warning lights flashed across the walls. Crew members rushed between stations, speaking fast and sharp. Fear moved through the ship like a living thing. But the human did not move. He stood near the center of the hall, hands relaxed at his sides, eyes calm. He did not look at the screens. He did not ask questions. He waited. Sarai watched him closely. Every known species reacted the same way in danger. Panic. Orders. Loud voices. Humans, according to old records, were the worst of all. Yet this one felt different. Captain Reth stepped closer to the human. State your name and rank, he demanded. The human looked at him, then slowly shook his head. Names don't matter anymore. That is not an answer, the captain snapped. It is the only answer you need, the human replied. Sarai noticed something strange. His voice never changed. No stress. No pride. No fear. Just control. The captain raised his hand. 2 guards moved forward. Sarai's heart jumped. Humans were dangerous when cornered. Everyone knew that. But the human did something unexpected. He bowed his head slightly, not in submission, but in respect. Then he straightened. I will not fight you, he said. But I will not kneel either. The guards stopped. Something in his tone made them hesitate. Sarai felt it again. That strange pull, like gravity bending around him. Why are you here? She asked softly. The human turned to her. I was called, he said. By whom? She asked. The lights above them shifted. The ship responded. A deep hum moved through the walls. Symbols appeared on the main screen. Symbols Sarai had only seen once, hidden deep in forbidden archives. Human origin marks. The captain's eyes widened. That system is locked. The human answered calmly. Not to me. Enemy ships broke through long-range sensors. 30 seconds to intercept, an officer shouted. The bridge filled with tension. Captain Reth turned back to the human. If you know this ship so well, he said, prove it. The human nodded once. He walked toward the central control panel. No one stopped him. As his hand hovered over the surface, the panel changed shape. Controls shifted. Old systems awakened. Sarai gasped. The ship was rebuilding itself around him. What are you? She whispered. The human paused. I am what remains. A loud impact shook the ship. The first enemy shot hit the shields. They were strong, but not strong enough. We won't hold, someone shouted. The human placed his hand fully on the panel. Lower internal shields, he said. Captain Reth shouted. That will kill us. No, the human replied. It will save you. The ship obeyed. Energy moved inward instead of outward. The walls glowed faintly. Sarai felt pressure, like the ship was breathing. Then the human spoke again. Activate dormant systems. Level 0. Sarai's eyes widened. Level 0 systems were myths. Weapons designed before modern wars. Weapons so powerful they were buried and forgotten. The ship answered with a deep, ancient sound. Outside, enemy ships slowed. Their sensors failed. Their formations broke. What's happening? An officer yelled. The human finally turned toward the viewing screen. This ship was never meant to fight like yours do, he said. It was meant to end battles before they began. A beam of light pulsed outward. Not fast, not violent. Silent. The enemy ships froze. One by one they powered down. No explosions. No debris. Just silence. The hall went still. Sarai stared at the screen, unable to breathe. "They're disabled," she said. The human stepped back from the panel. The ship slowly returned to normal. Captain Reth looked at him with disbelief. "You just stopped an entire fleet." The human shoulders sagged slightly. "I delayed them." "Delayed?" the captain repeated. "Yes," the human said quietly. "Others will come." Sarai stepped closer. "Why help us?" The human met her eyes. "Because once," he said, "we failed to protect this galaxy." Sarai felt a chill run through her. "What happened to your people?" she asked. The human looked away. "We chose silence," he said. "And the galaxy forgot us." A warning tone sounded again. New signals appeared, stronger than before. The human straightened. "Now," he said, "you will remember." Sarai realized something then. The human had not bowed. Not to fear. Not to power. Not even to the ship. Because humans were never meant to rule. They were meant to defend. And the moment she froze was the moment history woke up. The silence after the battle felt heavy. Enemy ships floated in space, powerless and dark. No weapons fired. No alarms screamed. Just drifting metal shells where a fleet had once been. Inside the command hall, no one spoke. Sarai watched the human carefully. He stood with his eyes closed, one hand resting on the control panel. His breathing was slow, steady, like someone listening to a distant voice. The ship was still glowing. Not warning lights. Not battle lights. Recognition lights. Captain Reth finally broke the silence. "The enemy will recover," he said. "We must move." The human opened his eyes. "They won't follow." "How can you be sure?" the captain asked. "Because the ship has decided," the human replied. Sarai felt a chill. "Decided what?" The human turned toward her. "Who it serves." The main screen shifted without command. A new display appeared, an old star map, older than any Sarai had studied. Entire regions were marked in human symbols. "These routes were sealed long ago," Sarai whispered. "No ship can use them." The human nodded. "No alien ship." The ship's voice echoed through the hall for the first time. Not mechanical. Not cold. Clear. Primary directive active. Everyone froze. Captain Reth stood slowly. "That voice. It's not standard AI." "No," the human said. "It's a guardian system." Sarai's heart pounded. "A guardian for what?" "For the galaxy," he answered. The ship shifted course on its own. Stars stretched outside the windows as faster-than-light engines powered up. Engines Sarai had never seen activated before. "We did not authorize jump," the navigation officer shouted. The human did not react. The ship moved anyway. Sarai grabbed the console to steady herself. "Where are we going?" "To a place your people erased from records," the human said. "Because it scared them." The captain's voice hardened. "You're hijacking a council vessel." The human looked at him calmly. "No. The council hijacked it first." The ship dropped out of jump near a dead star. Broken structures floated in orbit. Ruins, old stations, shattered rings. Sarai gasped. "This is human space." "Yes," the human said. "What remains of it?" The ship moved closer to one massive structure. As they approached, systems across the vessel activated on their own. Weapons powered, but not for attack. Defense layers multiplied. Energy shields thickened. The ship was preparing, not for war, for protection. "Why bring us here?" Sarai asked. The human's voice lowered. "Because the galaxy is about to burn again." Captain Reth stared at the ruins. "And you think one ship can stop it?" The human shook his head. "Not one ship." The structure ahead lit up. Signals pulsed outward. Across space, something answered. Sarai watched in disbelief as distant lights appeared. Dozens, then hundreds. Ships. Hidden. Silent. Ancient. Human ships. They had been sleeping. The ship they stood on pulsed brighter, stronger. It was no longer following orders. It was leading. The ship spoke again. Human authority confirmed. Sarai's knees weakened. The ship chose you. The human closed his eyes briefly. It chose its purpose. Alarm sounded, this time from deep space. Incoming signals flooded the screens. Multiple hostile fleets. Far larger than before. Captain Reth whispered, "We can't fight this." The human opened his eyes. "No," he said. "But we can remind them." Sarai felt fear return, but this time, it was mixed with something new. Hope. Because the ship had chosen a side. And for the first time in history, the galaxy would face a human who never ran. The ancient human ships stayed silent. They floated in deep space like ghosts from a forgotten age. No lights. No movement. Just shadows against the stars. Sarai could not look away. Why were they hidden? She asked quietly. The human stood near the front screen. His face reflected the dim light of ruined stations and broken stars. For the first time since he entered the ship, he looked tired. "Because we were afraid," he said. Captain Reth turned sharply. "Afraid of what?" "Of ourselves," the human replied. Sarai felt the weight in his words. He gestured toward the ruins outside. "We were explorers once. Builders. Defenders. When others fought, we ended wars. When worlds burned, we stood in between." The ship systems pulsed softly, as if listening. "But the galaxy learned to fear us," the human continued. "Not because we destroyed, but because we could stop anyone." Sarai remembered old legends. Stories banned from public learning. Humans who ended empires without conquering them. "You disappeared," she said. "Why abandon everything?" The human looked at her. "Because power invites hunger. And others wanted what we refused to use." Captain Reth folded his arms. "So you hid?" "No," the human said calmly. "We stepped back." He touched the control panel. A recording appeared on the main screen. Old, damaged, but clear enough. Human leaders stood together. Not soldiers. Not kings. Ordinary men and women. "We chose silence," one of them said in the recording. "To let the galaxy grow without us." The image flickered and vanished. Sarai's throat tightened. "But your silence caused chaos." "Yes," the human admitted. "And that is our failure." A warning signal interrupted them. Hostile fleets were closing fast. Stronger. Organized. Prepared. "They followed us," Captain Reth said. "They were always watching," the human replied. Sarai noticed something else. The human ships outside were waking one by one. Lights flickered on. Systems powered up. Not attacking. Forming a shield. "They're protecting us," she whispered. "They remember their duty," the human said. Captain Reth shook his head. "Your people could rule everything again." The human turned slowly. "We don't want rule." "Then what do you want?" the captain demanded. The human met his eyes. "Balance." Another signal came through. An open channel. A harsh alien voice filled the hall. "Human vessel. Stand down. You abandoned your claim long ago." The human stepped forward. "We never claimed the galaxy," he said. "We guarded it." Sarai felt her fear shift again. The truth was painful, heavy, but clear. Humans were not gone. They were waiting. The hostile fleet moved into attack formation. The ship responded instantly. Defense lines expanded. Human vessels aligned perfectly. The galaxy was watching now. Sarai realized something important. The human did not return for revenge. He returned because silence was no longer enough. Captain Reth looked at the human with new eyes. "If we stand with you, what happens?" The human answered without hesitation. "Then history changes." The ship's lights burned brighter. The buried truth had surfaced, and there was no hiding it again. The hostile fleet filled the stars. Hundreds of ships moved in perfect formation. Heavy armor. Long-range weapons. Power levels far beyond anything Sarai had ever seen. "This is a war fleet," an officer said quietly. "Not raiders." Captain Reth's hands tightened on the command rail. "We cannot match this force." Sarai looked at the human. He did not argue. He did not raise his voice. He simply stepped forward. "Open all channels," he said. The ship obeyed. His image appeared across space, broadcast to every hostile vessel. "I am human," he said calmly. "Stand down." The enemy response came instantly. Laughter. Static. Then a cold voice spoke. "Your kind vanished. You hold no power." The human's eyes did not change. "We chose not to rule. That does not mean we forgot how to fight." Weapons powered up across the enemy fleet. Sarai's heart raced. "They're preparing to fire." Captain Reth turned to the human. "If you have a plan, now is the time." The human nodded once. "Activate defense ring," he said. The human ships moved into position. Energy fields connected between them, forming a wide shield around the alien vessel. The first enemy volley struck. Light exploded across space. The shield held. Not a single tremor reached the ship. Sarai stared in shock. "That shield, it's absorbing everything." "It's not absorbing," the human corrected. "It's understanding." The enemy fleet fired again. Nothing changed. Confusion spread among the attackers. The human raised his hand. "Now," he said softly. The ship pulsed. A wave spread outward. Slow, invisible, unstoppable. Enemy weapons powered down mid-charge. Engines failed. Formations collapsed. One by one, enemy ships went dark. No explosions. No screams. Just silence. Sarai could barely breathe. "You shut them down." "All of them." The human lowered his hand. His face showed strain now. "This power was never meant to destroy," he said. "Only to stop." A sudden impact shook the ship. Sarai gasped. Something got through. The screen showed one enemy vessel still active. Smaller. Faster. Charging weapons manually. They bypassed the system. Captain Reth shouted. The human moved instantly. He stepped to the panel and placed both hands on it. "Override," he whispered. The ship responded with a deep, powerful hum. A focus beam struck the last enemy ship. It vanished. Clean. Silent. Gone. The hull fell quiet. Sarai watched the human sway slightly. "Are you all right?" she asked. He nodded, but his breathing was heavier now. "It takes effort." Captain Reth stared at the empty space where the fleet had been. "You just defeated an armada." The human shook his head. "I reminded them." Sarai felt something shift inside her. Fear was gone. In its place was awe. But before she could speak, the human stumbled. His knees buckled. Sarai rushed forward as he collapsed. She caught him before he hit the floor. The ship's lights dimmed. Alarms did not sound. Instead, the ship whispered softly, "Defender stress critical." Sarai held him, her hands trembling. The human had stood alone against a fleet. And now, he was falling. The command hall was silent. Sarai knelt on the floor, holding the human's head in her arms. His skin felt warm, his breathing slow but steady. The battle was over, yet the tension remained, heavy in the air. "Medical team!" Captain Reth shouted. No one moved. The ship spoke instead. "Defender stable. Energy depletion severe." Sarai looked up. "He saved us," she said softly. Medical officers arrived and carefully lifted the human onto a floating support bed. Sarai followed closely, unwilling to step away. They moved him into a quiet chamber near the core of the ship. The walls glowed with a soft light, different from the rest of the vessel. "This room was sealed," one officer said in confusion. "It opened for him," Sarai replied. The human stirred as systems connected to him. His eyes opened slowly. Sarai leaned closer. "You should rest." He looked at her, and for the first time, his strength was gone. "Did the fleet retreat?" "They're gone," she said. "You stopped them." He closed his eyes for a moment. "Good." Captain Reth stepped forward. "Why risk your life for us?" he asked. "You owe us nothing." The human opened his eyes again. "We owe the galaxy," he said quietly. Sarai studied his face. No pride. No hunger for praise. Were you a soldier? She asked. He shook his head. I was a watcher. A defender. That was enough. She thought of her people's stories. Humans painted as monsters, conquerors, destroyers. None of them matched the one lying before her. The ship's core pulsed gently. Defender service complete. The human's expression tightened. Already? Sarai frowned. What does that mean? It means my part is ending, he said. Captain Reth's voice lowered. You're leaving. Yes, the human replied. If humans return fully, fear will rise again. Sarai felt something twist inside her. But you can help us rebuild. He smiled faintly. You don't need us to lead. You need us to trust you. The ship shifted course. Destination set. The system announced. Sarai felt panic. Where are you going? To sleep, the human said. Like the others. She reached out, then stopped herself. You're not afraid, she asked. He met her eyes. I was. Once. Not anymore. The ship slowed near a quiet star. The chamber lights dimmed. Sarai realized then what had changed. She no longer feared humans. She respected them. And that respect felt heavier than fear ever had. The ship slowed near the quiet star. Light from its surface reflected softly across the hull. No alarms. No enemies. Just peace after chaos. Sarai stood near the observation window. She watched the human rest inside the chamber, surrounded by calm blue light. His breathing was slow, steady, almost silent. The ship spoke gently. Defender entering dormant state. Sarai's chest tightened. Captain Reth joined her. He saved us, he said. And now he fades back into legend. Sarai shook her head. Not a legend, she replied. A reminder. The chamber sealed slowly. Systems locked. Not to trap him, but to protect him. Outside, the ancient human ships powered down one by one. They returned to their long sleep, hidden among the stars. The galaxy would not see them again, but it would remember them. The ship changed course and jumped back into known space. News traveled faster than light. A fleet had been stopped without destruction. A human had stood alone and ended a war. An ancient ship had chosen its purpose. The council demanded answers. Sarai stood before them days later. Clear. She told them the truth. Humans never wanted to rule, she said. They wanted balance. When we forgot that, the galaxy suffered. The council listened in silence. Old laws were rewritten. Forbidden records were unlocked. Human history was restored. Not as conquerors, as defenders. Back aboard the ship, Sarai walked through the quiet halls. The ship felt different now. Lighter. At peace. She placed her hand on the wall. Thank you, she whispered. The ship responded with a soft hum. Far away, near the silent star, the human slept. Waiting. Not for praise. Not for control. Only for the moment he might be needed again. Sarai looked out at the stars. Once, fear had frozen her mid-sentence. Now that fear was gone. In its place was understanding. The galaxy did not need humans to rule it. It needed them to remind it how to survive. And that was how one ship, one human, and one frozen moment rewrote history forever.